morning, Willow class. Today we are going to be having a look at ordering numbers, including decimals. Now, yesterday we did comparing them, and today we're actually going to order them. So I have put some decimals on screen, as you can see. I've just got 3.6, 3.7, 4.1, 3.5, 4.6 and 4.2. So when we order these, we tend to order from the smallest to the largest. However, sometimes we don't, and sometimes, depending on the question, it might ask you the opposite way around. It might say order them from largest to smallest. So just bear that in mind as well. Okay, so you can see that I have got those numbers, and what I need to do now to order them is to look at the most significant number, and that's not new to you. We did actually use that terminology yesterday. So here I've got a 3, here I've got a 3, this one's got a 4, this one's got a 3, this has got 4, and this has got 4. So which are the smallest ones out of those? Well, we know that the units being 3 is smaller than the units being 4, okay? So then I need to look at the next most significant numbers of these three to start with. I've got 0.6, 0.7 and 0.5. Now, because all of these have got the same amount of digits after the decimal place, I don't actually need to do anything like I did yesterday. So now what I need to do is quite simply get these and decide which is the smallest. Is it the 6/10, 7/10 or 5/10? And we know that 5/10, I wonder if I can do that. Oh, I can't. I'll just retype it. 5/10 is actually smaller than 6 or 7/10. So I'm therefore going to have now my new number, which is 3.5, and that's the smallest one. Once I've then done that, if I want to, if it makes it easier, you can either cross it out or put a tick above it so that you know you've used it. Which is then smaller, the 6/10 or the 7/10? Well done, it is the 6/10. So because the 6/10 is smaller, that comes next. And again, if you want to, you can cross it out. Then we're left with 3.7, and that's the only one now that's actually got 3 units. So that must then be the next smallest, okay? Don't forget to keep a gap between each of these like I have done. So I've used both of those. I've now got 4.1, 4.6 and 4.2. Again, just as a recap, this has only got 1 digit after the decimal place and 1 digit in front of it. So let's just double check that these two numbers have also got the same, and luckily they have. So which is the smallest then? Well, actually, if we then go back to our most significant number, this one has got 4 units, this has got 4 units, and this has got 4 units. So I now need to look at the tenths. This has got 1/10, 6/10 and 2/10. So we know then that 1/10 is smaller than 2/10. So that's the next one. So which, that should be 4.1. Which one have we then got next? 4.6 or 4.2? Well done. So we should have 4.2. And then finally, we're just left with one number left over, 4.6. And that is our largest number. So you can see that these numbers have all been put into order of smallest to largest. Okay? Let's then move on and have a look at some that have got a different amount of digits. So hopefully it hasn't chopped up and you can actually see this. So we're going to start with the red ones. And again, I'm going to do smallest. I'm just going to do S for short. And I'm going to do largest on this side this time. So I've got 3.62, 3.6, 3.64, 3.52, 3.61 and 3.5. Now if we remember from yesterday, the easiest way to do this is to make sure that I've got the same amount of numbers after the decimal point. If, for example, here I've got 1, 2, so I've got 2 digits after the decimal point, but this one I've only got 1. So we know that if that happens, I can actually add the number 0 and it doesn't add any value to it. So I'm going to have the number 0 there. So this is now got 2 decimal points, and so does this, 2 decimal places. This has got 2, this has got 2, this has got 2, so I don't need to do anything, but this has only got 1. So what do I add here to make it have 2? I add the number 0. Well done. Okay, I'm going to just change that colour so that we can see that I've added it in. That's the only reason I've done that. Okay, so then we continue to look at the most significant number. So these, in front of the decimal place, the first number is always the most significant. 3 units, 3 units, 3 units, 3 units, 3 units, and 3 units. Oh no, so they've all got 3 units. So what I then need to do is look in my tenths column. Okay, so my tenths column, 6 tenths, 6 tenths, 6 tenths are all the same so far. 5 tenths. So that is the smallest so far, because 5 tenths is less than 6 tenths. Oh, 6 tenths again. 5 tenths. So I've got two numbers there that have 5 tenths. So I'm going to ignore this one and the rest of them. And I'm just going to focus on this one and this one. We then look at our hundredths column. In our hundredths column, this has got a 2, and thankfully I added the 0. So this has got a 0, so it's got 0 hundredths. So which is smaller, 0 hundredths or 2 hundredths? Well done, 0 hundredths is smaller. So this number is going to be my first number on my number line, 3.50. So I'm going to put that in there. And I am then definitely going to be crossing these out because it's a lot trickier now to remember. Then I have 6 tenths, 6 tenths, 6 tenths, 5 tenths, 6 tenths. So which is smaller? There's only one 5. Therefore, that's the next smallest, 3.52. Okay? So again, I'm going to cross it out just to help me. Okay, we then said that these have all got 6 tenths, so I need to look at the next number. So I'm going to look at the hundredths. 2 hundredths, 0 hundredths, 4 hundredths, and 1 hundredth. Now don't forget that has 0 hundredths because I added it in. Okay, so which is smaller, 2, 0, 4, or 1? And we know that the 0 is smaller. So that's 3.60. So I'm going to put that there, and I'm then going to cross it out. What I'd like you guys to do now is to pause the video and get these 3 other numbers in order. Okay, off you go. Okay, welcome back and well done if you've done that. So you can see that I've just then ordered the rest of these. I've got 3.61, 3.62 and 3.64. So they're in order from smallest to largest. Okay, I'm going to try and catch you out now, and you can see that I've also got some more numbers. This time though, I want you to order them from largest to smallest. Okay, so I want you guys to do this, to pause the video and have a go. Don't forget, look at the numbers, how many numbers it's got in front of the decimal place, and check they've all got the same, and they have. They're all starting with 17, but then how many numbers after the decimal point? That's got 2, but this one's only got 1, and so on. So double check that before you then add any zeros you need to, and then obviously start to order them. Remember, largest to smallest now. Okay, off you go. Okay, welcome back. So hopefully you've had a go at ordering these. I haven't ordered them, I've just rewritten them so that we can order them together. So the largest one, we've got all of them 17, and then we needed to look at the next one, which was a 6 in here, and so on. And then some of them did have 5 tenths, okay? So we know that the 6 is actually larger than the 5 tenths. So I'm looking at these 3 numbers. Then I look at the next most significant number. This is a 2. Here I've got the 0, which I added, and now I've got the 5. So we know that this is actually the largest, okay? So again, I'm going to cross it off from here. Then I need to look at my next one, and it's 2 or 0. So we know that 2 hundredths is larger than 0 hundredths. So that's why it goes like that. Okay, so I can cross both of those off. The one thing I'm going to say is because I added, sorry about that, the 0, I want you to actually take the 0 away from your answer, because that was the original number, 17.6, not 17.60. Okay. Then 17.58 or 17.50, which is larger, 58 or 50? Yeah, the 58 is larger and the 50 is smaller. Now again, I added the 0 there, so I need to take that away from my answer. Okay, so that is the order that they should actually be in. Okay, one little challenge before you go off to do your learning. I want you to tell me at the end of your work, and I'm not going to do this in the video, I'm just going to do it here, which number is closest in value to 1. So have a look at all of those numbers and see if you can work out which is closest to 1. At the end of your learning today, I want you to put that actually at the bottom of your work, okay? Just put whichever number is closest to 1, and then I can see whether you've got it right, okay? Right, good luck with your learning today, everybody, and I look forward to seeing how you get on.